welcome to my YouTube channel. My daughter and I recently went on a cruise on Navigator of the Seas out of Los Angeles, California, with a stop in Ensenada, Mexico. We went on an ATV excursion there, and I thought I'd share it with you all. Enjoy. We took a shuttle from the cruise ship to downtown area, and at the downtown bus stop there were a couple of little booths where they were offering excursions. We had originally planned on just walking around, looking at the shops and getting some lunch, but we took a look at the excursions and they were very, very cheap. This excursion was $45 a person for about a 2-hour ride on an ATV. We asked them for a multi-person ATV, and I assumed that they were going to give us a driver and it was going to be, a 4-person ATV where they drove. But when we got to the ATV place, they offered us a 2-seater, and then there was going to be a guide that took us around. So we were very surprised. Neither my daughter nor I had any real experience on ATVs. I'm legally blind, so there's no chance of me driving the ATV. But my daughter was up to the task. So we jumped on, picked out our helmets, and off we went with very little in the way of instruction. Here we are on the city streets of Ensenada. Our tour guide really didn't tell us how to navigate the intersections or stop signs or anything. So at first we were stopping like you normally would in a car and letting the cars go, when it was their turn at the intersection. But we quickly realized that he was not going to wait for us and that we needed to keep up. So eventually we learned to just blow through the intersection right behind him instead of stopping when it was our turn. And that worked out a lot better for us. We actually lost him once or twice along the way. But he did come back and found us and got us back on track. Finally, we got out of the downtown area and started winding our way up the paved neighborhood streets up above the downtown area. If you look off to the left, you can catch glimpses of our cruise ship in the port. It was a little scary. There were some scary speed bumps that we were hitting along the way. We hadn't quite gotten the feel of the ATV yet. So my daughter was a little hesitant to put on the gas, and while flying over those speed bumps, it seemed the faster you went, the easier those bumps were. There are some really beautiful homes up on the hill to our right. Some of these streets were very, very steep. If you look at the road as compared to the level of the houses, you can really tell how steep it was. And finally we make it off of the paved roads onto the unpaved trails that wind their way up to the tops of the mountains that overlook Ensenada. And we reached our first stop. Beautiful lookout. Unfortunately, it was a very hazy day and somewhat cold, but the views are amazing. We actually began to appreciate how chilly it was as the engine underneath us started to really warm up, and we started really exerting ourselves, having to lean into the banked corners and lean forward going up the hills. It was quite an experience. I'm rocking the really nice helmet hair.
she had to help you?
Yeah, she had to pick up one. Oh, they're coming up here. I wonder if they're on their ship too. This is so pretty.
I'm not sure how we lucked out being the only two with our guide, as there were very many other groups up here. I can only surmise that there are other companies doing tours. You would think that they would try to consolidate them into a little larger groups, but we really lucked out having our own guide.
What the heck? Okay, this is really bad. Hold on. I don't know where he went again.
Well, there's not many options.
That's cool. Oh, he's up here. My watch is gonna think I'm dying. Hopefully it doesn't call the cops.
He's been abducted.
No! If it thinks I've like fallen or something.
Tumbling for miles on
That happened when we were in Norway when I went down that slide at the aquarium.
Yeah.
It said it looks like you've taken a hard fall. Yeah. Hold on tight. We're just going uphill. My watch thinks I'm on a outdoor cycle.
We thought going up the steep hills was scary. Going down was even worse. In addition, some of the steeper sections had little gullies that were formed by the rainwater pouring down the mountain, as you can see on the left here.
There's just a bus stop. Well, I guess that's a truck.
I thought this was pretty funny. We couldn't turn tight enough to stay on the trail, and neither one of us had asked how to put this ATV in reverse. So our guide had to come over and show us.
I don't know how to reverse. No. Oh. And then move forward. All the way or in the middle?
This was really cool. Our guide took us down to this little dirt bowl where you could ride the ATV around, do donuts, peel out, whatever you wanted to do. I didn't want to risk it, especially since there was a lot of dust getting kicked up in the air. I wasn't sure if I would be able to see enough to avoid the other people that were doing the same, so I let Amber do a bunch of laps. She had a great time.
Your turn.
No, it's not my turn.
Oh, this is so fun.
Nice. You gonna take another spin or you're good?
I guess.
You gotta mix up the dust. I can't see very well, so no driving for me.
We thought that would be the end of our tour, but evidently our tour guide had plenty more spaces to show us. This is my favorite video shot of the trip. Make sure to look backwards. I was holding the selfie stick way out in front of the ATV so we could get a good heads-on shot. And back down the mountain we went. Back to downtown. That was the end of the excursion. From there, we walked over to the downtown area where there are a lot of shops and restaurants, and we had a fantastic meal at a Mexican restaurant where they came and mariachi bands came in and played for us, and street vendors came into the little area we were sitting and offered us the goods that they were selling. It was a really interesting experience and a great value. The food was amazing. I didn't get any video footage of this part of our day, but I did get this picture of my daughter with her meal at the restaurant. We had a fantastic time in Ensenada. Everything just went so easy. Nice shuttle from the ship to the downtown area, and then the excursion was very well priced. We had a decent shuttle to the place where you picked up the ATVs, and then a fantastic tour guide along the way, and then a easy walk to downtown where we had a fantastic meal. The only downside for Ensenada was the shopkeepers were pretty darn pushy. If I go in to look at a shop and they start hounding me and wanting to like press me to buy stuff, I've had enough, and I usually move on from there. And it was shop after shop. Some of the shopkeepers even were making a joke out of it, like, "Hey, I'll let you look, and I won't, bother you at all for 15 seconds." And they would say that outright. So you got to kind of be used to that. It kind of comes with the territory. It wasn't a real downer for us, but you just got to know it going in. From there, from downtown, there was a nice shuttle back to the cruise port. Nice, easy day. We really, really enjoyed that ATV excursion. It was one of the highlights of our trip for sure. So hopefully you enjoyed that. If you want to see more of this footage, I have the uncut versions of this with some nice Latin music in the background available on my other YouTube channel, Cruising Out of Sight 360 Uncut. So I would encourage you to go over there and check out the full footage unedited as well. Thanks for watching.